and welcome to the Rock Radar. My name is Smitty from the What the Hell Everything podcast. Another reaction in my quest through space to open rock and roll minds, and this is a great example of opening rock and roll minds, mine primarily. This will be reaction number 2 to the Dirty Loops and Work Shit Out. I'm pretty sure I reacted to it on a reaction marathon, live stream reaction marathon on Patreon, then posted it to YouTube, and the amount of reaction on that, there was quite a bit of reaction to that. A lot of it had to do with my dislike, for probably the best way to put it. The vocals were very old school Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake kind of thing, and that usually is not what I want to hear. But the consensus opinion was check work shit out. Check work shit out. All right, that is their magnum opus. I do believe that was one of the comments, word for word. 7.5 minute track, something along those lines, and I'm like, okay, let's give it another look-see. A lot of times, whatever mood I happen to be in at the time dictates how I react to a song and how I like a song. And I think a lot of times, or at least sometimes, I'm not saying it's going to be so in this case, where you check out a different band or even the same song from the same band days apart, and it just hits you totally differently. So we're going to check out Work Shit Out from the Dirty Loops. But before I do that, it's all about getting the message out. On April 1st, 2021, I ditched a career I absolutely hated to better myself and do the things I've always wanted to do. And that included my growing love and obsession with Ireland. I want to learn everything: culture, history, mythology, music, and the language. Which, if I'm being honest, looks really hard to learn, but I'm going to give it the old Smith try. Then, of course, there is my love of pubs and the role that they've played throughout history, and no better example of that than on that beautiful, beleaguered island in the North Atlantic, Ireland. April 1st, 2026, I depart for the Emerald Isle, and for 1 year, I'll hike town by town and conduct interviews with pub owners, pub regulars, historians, town know-it-alls, musicians, and basically anybody that wants to talk to me. If you'd like to support the project and the journey, basic Patreon support is only $3 a month, but just liking a video or subscribing to the channel and following the journey is just as helpful. I'm always looking for volunteers to work as liaisons for the project too, so if you live in Ireland and know people, feel free to hit me up. This is a huge goal, and I need all the help I can get. The Smitty Learns Irish Pubcast begins April 26th and will be my life's work. Thank you. Okay, now that that's done, let's give it try number 2 to the Dirty Loops. Work Shit Out. I have to say, I did appreciate the musicianship, and the band was super fucking tight, and there, I got those words out. Let's continue, shall we?
I better work shit out, but I like it too much. Spending all my money like I just can't get enough. I better work shit out, but it's killing my buzz. Sending all my sorries, still I just can't kill a rush. I got the sunlight, you bring the rain. I'm gonna drop out if I fall out, then I got no one of me to blame. But still I got the sparkle, I'm soaking up the heat. Guess I know I should resist, but I'm sucker for the kiss so sweet. I better work shit out, but I like it too much. Spending all my money like I just can't get enough. I better work shit out, but it's killing my buzz. Sending all my sorries, still I just can't kill a rush. I better work shit out, but I like it too much. Spending all my money like I just can't get enough. I better work shit out, but it's killing my buzz. Sending all my sorries, still I just can't kill a rush. Got my game on, I'm like a time bomb. I'm a zombie in the morning, I'm just waiting for the night to come. I can't go on forever, 'cause I don't wanna stop this. It's an outcome, I don't know what, but I'm loving every part of
the fucking groove is undeniable. The groove is undeniable. The vocals are sitting with me a little bit better this go around. I have to say that. It's still it's like how a lot of people, including myself, for the longest time, and even in still a lot of instances, death metal vocals. Do I consider? I think death metal vocals a lot of times are nails on a chalkboard to people in some ways that like poppy vocals to me are like nails on a chalkboard in a lot of ways. I tend to like a little bit more aggression and things in my vocals. That being said, there's a lot of poppy and non-aggressive vocals that I like. I'm appreciating this more. Point of the story. The groove is fucking undeniable. I am almost shocked that there's not a guitar. I'm not displeased that there's not a guitar. I just kind of thought that there was one. Was there one in the last song? But it is. There was another thought that I had that will come back to me because it's not there right now. It went pew, gone. Thanks, fucking play. That was fun. Somebody had mentioned that there was a drum and keyboard solo in here. I'm just curious how that's going to work together. Pretty fun. Not gonna lie. They are going to keep jamming here. I had the ones like, that's not over yet. Man, I mentioned I did a previous reaction to a woman by the name of Sarah Vaughan, and from like 1964 or something, I want to say. And that was the first sort of like jazz reaction, I think, that I remember doing. I don't think the previous one from Dirty Loops, I really caught much jazzy influence in it. I probably may have. But anyway, I'm making a concerted effort, or thinking about making a concerted effort, to go down the jazz rabbit hole and learn more about that. Just trying to like discern like jazzy drumming and things. It's fucking so many fills and so confusing and crazy a lot of times to me. But they're fucking jamming. This is not confusing. I'm saying I really try to pick out the drumming when I'm listening to like jazzy fucking things. The keyboard solo in here, as well as the drum solo, the way they've been playing off of each other. I don't know how spontaneous that jammy part is or was. Seems fairly spontaneous. Now it sounds like Beverly Hills Cop. Fucking bass too. Whoa. Jesus. Honestly, they just looking at them, there's no way that they would sound like the way that they sound, you know? With the bass player that looks like he's a session player for The Cure, and then the singer that looks like he should be working for an advertising fucking company, and the drummer who's just this rad fucking jazz drummer. You wouldn't think that those guys sound like that, but they do. And I had a lot more fun with that than I did the previous one from Dirty Loops. They fucking rock. They fucking jam, man. So that was a good recommendation, you guys. Thanks. That's all about. It's a different day. You give it another chance. You know, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. Hey, you like this video? You want to hear more from the Dirty Loops or some other suggestion? I did mention jazz. If I'm going to do jazz reactions, I want to go old school, okay? Just so you know. I've heard a lot of jazz from throughout my life, but I couldn't really tell you other than like the legendary players who the fuck is good and who's not, you know? And even the legendary players, I'm like, I really only have a vague idea. That being said, please consider subscribing, even though I got a bunch of stuff on this channel. It's called What the Hell Everything for a Reason, and that's the name of the podcast, too, that I do. The What the Hell Everything podcast, where it's just me rambling, which I'm doing now. I'm out. See ya. What the hell everything?